Let us try to understand how to isolate variables from product of two or more variables. I find that it is easy for students to understand when numbers are involved. So we'll start with numbers and move on to variables. Let us take a very simple example and let us say 2x equals to 12. Now find the value of x. That is also as good as saying isolate x. Now if 2x equals to 12, then x should be 12 divided by 2. How do we get it? We actually divide both sides by 2, right? So what we do at this stage is that we write 2x equals to 12 and divide both sides by the number 2. The reason is that we want to somehow isolate x on this side. So 2 and 2 cancel out and we get the value of x, which is x is equals to 12 divided by 2 as 6. Correct? So that is how we isolate variables. Now let us take another example. In this case it was product, so we divided by the quotient or the coefficient of x, right? So in this case there was product of a number and the variable. To isolate variable x, we divided by the coefficient 2, right? Now let us take another example, and this time let me say half of y equals to, let us say 5. What is y? To find y, what are we going to do? We want to eliminate half, right? So y divided by 2 is 5. To get rid of this division, we should multiply both sides by 2. If we do that, then this 2 cancels off and we are left with y equals to 5 times 2, right? 5 times 2, which is equal to 10. So we get our answer, right? So when the numbers are involved, it's kind of simple. We straight away get answer in terms of numbers, right? Now let us try to see same thing when we have two or more variables, right? Now you know distance d is equal to speed times time. So distance is speed into time, right? Now this is a formula which gives you distance provided you know speed and time. Now if the question is isolate time, that means find time taken if you know distance and speed. How are you going to do it? Well, we are going to adopt the same strategy. That is, since we want to isolate time, we will divide by speed on both the sides. Well, to give you an example, let us say distance d is equal to 200 kilometers and speed is, let us say, 40 kilometers per hour. In that case, how much time are we going to take to cover the distance of 200 kilometers? So that kind of problem we can solve with this formula. So if I have to solve this question, basically we'll start with distance equals to speed into time, and we know distance is 200. We'll substitute distance with 200, so we get 200 equals to speed is 40 times time t. To find time, we are going to divide by 40, correct? So we get time equals to 200 divided by 40, which is indeed the speed, right? Same steps are followed to isolate the variable when they are given products. Here we have product of speed and time. Now to isolate for t, what should we do? We know distance equals to speed into time. Since we need time, we'll divide by speed on both the sides, correct? So we have distance divided by speed equals to time. This is what we have. Distance of 200 kilometers divided by speed of 40 gives us the time. Do you see that? But that becomes a formula by which you can always apply a straight formula and get your result. Do you see? So time is equals to distance divided by speed. Now in this case you can solve, get your answer, which is dividing by 10, we get 20 over 4. Dividing 20 by 4, you get 5. And the answer is time t equals to 5 hours, right? Since the units are kilometers per hour for speed and kilometers for distance, right? So that is what you get. Let me show you the units also. Just 200 was distance in kilometers, right? That was kilometers divided by speed was kilometers over hour, right? So kilometers get cancelled and we get units as hours. So units also match. Well, that is how we can find the formula in terms of another variable. Well, you can do the same question and find s in terms of distance and t, right? S could be written as distance divided by t. Well, we have many formulas which are kind of products, right? For example, let me give you one for you to try. Interest is equals to principal amount times rate of interest into time. I'd like you to isolate t, right? Well, when you do your calculations, t should be what? T should be interest divided by P and R. Do you see that? So we'll get time t equals to interest divided by P times R, right? Well, let me give you a few more. Circumference equals to 2 pi r, right? So from here, can you find r? Yes, you can divide both sides by 2 pi, right? So you get r equals to c over 2 pi is equal to r. So many formulas which are kind of products, we can always isolate any of those variables using this property, dividing both sides by the variable which you don't need, right, which you want to drop off, right? So that is how you can isolate variables when product is given to you. I hope the process is clear to you. Thank you and all the best.